Welcome to NVC Life. I'm Rachelle Lamb, veteran NVC trainer and relationship coach, helping listeners navigate interpersonal conflict and ground more deeply into relational living. Greetings, fellow humans. In this episode, I think it would be appropriate to talk about what it means to live a life in service. The biggest thing in the news right now has been the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Now, whether you believe in the good of monarchy, the need for it, or have strong opinions about it, either way, there's no doubt that many horrors and atrocities can be traced back to monarch rule over the course of history. But notwithstanding, I think it can be said that the Queen, that she in fact did an amazing job of devoting her life to service. Now, I really don't want to get into the politics of, again, whether or not monarchy is good or bad. The point that I think is worth looking at is that she lived a very full life and devoted herself in the way that she believed to be appropriate to a life of service. Let's just listen to a clip of her speaking at the age of 21 years old, which is really remarkable.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong. But I shall not have strength to carry out this resolution alone, unless you join in it with me, as I now invite you to do. I know that your support will be unfailingly given. God help me to make good my vow, and God bless all of you who are willing to share in it.
April 21st, 1947. That is the 21st birthday of Elizabeth at the time. And I do find it very remarkable that someone so young would make that kind of a pledge. Not only that, but she delivered 70 years of service. 70 years. It's a pretty big deal, you got to admit. And why it strikes me is because it is in such stark contrast to what most of us aspire to at that age, or any age for that matter. And it does make me think about the purpose of certain rites of passage, especially the rite of passage that is in some cultures an initiation into adulthood. And one of the things that initiation into adulthood does is it ends the childhood and it turns the human being now towards a life of service. You are now an adult. You are a citizen of this community. And it is your job now to attend to the place, to the lives, to the community for the good and sake of the whole community. That's a remarkable thing to have a young person be oriented in that direction. And I don't believe it happens without external support. I think on one's own, a person is more likely to continue on the path of trying to get all of their needs met from the understanding and the vantage that I'm number one in my world. I'm here to chase my dreams. I'm here to dream big, get what I want, make things happen, draw good people towards me, draw good circumstances towards me. It really is an individual way of looking at things. It places the individual in the center and makes things come towards them, as opposed to turning that person into an adult and having them tend to the greater whole, which is placed in the center. It's a reversal. And so Again, whether or not you agree or disagree with monarchy or the queen, that's not the point here. I'm wanting to really draw attention to the fact that the need to contribute, which is a need that Marshall Rosenberg spoke about as being probably our most important need. I don't think that necessarily resonates with most people. It might not be seen as the most important need. Perhaps people resonate more with the pursuit of love and happiness as needs, the drive for success, personal fulfillment through relationships, vocation, or other. And certainly some of these intersect with service, but the need to contribute to life, when it is a primary force within the individual, might be viewed as a higher manifestation of love, given the sacrifices it so often requires. It's an altruistic understanding. And one of the things, of course, is that when you are in service to life, you're not left out of the equation. It's just that you're not central to it anymore. Something else is central. And so with the death of Queen Elizabeth, which I know affected many people and affected people in a variety of ways. Some people have very strong anti-monarchy feelings. Some people very strong pro-monarchy. No matter how you view it, the person herself was seen to exert a kind of almost mythical or iconic force in the world. And perhaps it's because it's so rare for us, really, to see people perform or see people conduct themselves in that way, where they really do place the commonwealth before themselves. And Queen Elizabeth was certainly known to do that. She was very restrained in many ways, and there was a lot of sacrifice involved. Now, again, you can say, not a good idea to put your family second to the throne. It doesn't matter. It's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that to put something else before yourself, which is for the good of the whole, I do believe is something that's more rare in the dominant culture than it is common. And I don't know how many 21-year-olds you know who would act in that way. In some way, I feel some sadness that we as a culture, and again, I'm speaking about the dominant culture or the Western culture, no longer have any of the kind of significant rites of passage and markers that are known to recognize the different stages in a person's life. There's a big difference between being a child, being an adolescent, and being an adult. And in what ways do we, as a culture, make it possible for younger people to actually recognize that not only is there a change, not only will they be seen differently, but there will be expectations placed upon them. I suppose we can only expect things from others if we ourselves have been willing to carry those expectations ourselves. Have we, who are over the age of 21, let's actually make it over the age of 40, conducted ourselves in a manner that reflects our values to be one of placing the common good before ourselves? And that would be a really good way of understanding adulthood and citizenship. I'm not sure we do that anymore. I don't get the sense that we do. I wouldn't be speaking about it if I thought we did. I don't think it's something that we do, and it's something that I long to see in the world. And I feel some sadness. There's something that did overcome me. I felt some tears come up, even though I've never had this strong allegiance to monarchy or the Queen. But there was something that I felt very moved by, just to hear the young woman speak as she did, and to learn something about the many trials and challenges she faced in her life. The 15 prime ministers she met with regularly over the course of her reign, the world leaders she both hosted and visited, the highly publicized royal family scandals she was forced to contend with, the sheer weight of the demands of a rapidly changing world. She had a formidable impact. She had a formidable presence. And what a thing to have someone in the world who is also a memory carrier. Someone at the age of 96 has seen a lot of change in the world. It's incredible how much change has occurred, especially when we think about technology, shifting values over the decades, and the conveniences that are now available to us that were not in the time that the Queen was born. And so she's seen a lot. And not only is it the death of a remarkable human being, but also a storehouse of memories of how things were, how things have changed. And doesn't that break your heart a little bit? Certainly it breaks mine. To mourn the death of someone who lived through so much and led with a soft and steady hand. What a truly remarkable human being. I bow to her for being an extraordinary example of commitment, devotion, courage, grace, and unwavering service to her people and country. May we all find ways to be of service to life and be inspired by her beautiful example. I conclude with the words that King Charles spoke when he made the tribute to his mother. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Thank you for tuning into NVC Life. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube. For free resources or to book a private session with me, head over to RachelleLamb.com. Until the next time, stay sane, grateful, and generous.